Okay, so we've made this program more organized, right? That the one function is more modular, right? One function is checking the season, the other, and then it's calling other functions to do their job. But these functions here are very similar. The only difference is the season name, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and the color, right? Different colors for each season. So that's the only thing that's different. Otherwise, all of the lines of code are identical. We set the inner HTML, the color of the heading, the image source, the audio source, and the background color. Okay, so how can we make this better? Well, we know that when we look at built-in functions, right, like alert, we can pass data into the alert function so that it prints out the message we pass in. So I'm going to suggest that, let's go here. I'm going to go to, I have this little planning table here. Whenever you're making a function, it's good to kind of answer these questions. What's the name of the function? So I'm going to suggest that we should make a function called setSeason, right? And the purpose of the function is to update the web page to reflect the provided season, right? So we're going to set season, and we're going to give, well, what the provided season, the name of the season, and the color for that season. And I know I didn't put a U there. It's because programming has made me do it the American way, because we have to in our programs. Okay, so we want a function called setSeason, and it's going to update the web page to reflect the provided season. Well, how do we provide the season? Well, that's the data that the function needs, right? What does it need? It needs the season name, and it needs the color of the season, right? And if I know the season name and I know the color, then I can update the web page to reflect that season. And does this function return anything? No. It updates the web page, but it doesn't actually return anything, right? Okay, so that's kind of my plan, right? I want a function that takes in two values, the season name and the season color, and then it does its job of updating the web page. All right, now, when I write a function, so let's do that right here, function setSeason, like so. In my function header, inside of these parentheses, we can add something called parameters. Okay, let me write that out here, parameters. And parameters are basically variables that store data passed into the function. Okay, so I can go into here, and and now when we make these variables, we don't have to create let when we do it. Inside of this brackets, JavaScript knows that, oh, this is going to be a variable. So we can just go, let's call it season name, and then a comma for season color. Okay, and what that means is that this function, when you call the function, you need to pass in a value that'll get stored in this variable and a value that'll get stored inside of this variable. So for example, if I wanted to set, instead of calling set spring, I would call the function set season, and then when I call the function, I need to give it a season name, so we'll go spring, and then when I call the function, I also have to give it season color, so I'm going to just take this color right here, copy, and paste that into here. Right? So the idea is I call the setSeason function, I give it the string spring and the string with this color. The spring gets stored inside of this parameter, and the color gets stored inside of this parameter. And now I can do awesome stuff like this. I'm going to copy this stuff, and I'm going to say, no, I don't want to always do spring, because the season name could be something different, right? Over here, I want to call set season, but I'm going to pass in winter, and whatever winter's color is. I have that up here. Why did I do set winter? It's summer. Okay, here we go. Summer. Oops. Okay, things are getting derailed here. Summer. There we go. And then summer's color, which is this one right here. So we'll do that like so. Okay, and then the same thing for autumn, right? We're going to pass in those values. Autumn, and then autumn's color. And last one here, call the set season function for winter. All right. Paste that in. Okay, so whenever I call this set season function, the values that I pass in, okay, these values that I pass into when I invoke the call the function, they get stored inside of these variables. So season name could be winter or autumn or summer, depends which function is calling it. And then in here, I'm just going to use season name because that parameter will store whatever the season name is. For the color, I'm going to use season color. And then here I need to put the season name inside of this, right? I still have to look in the image folder and you have the .jpg. So for that, I'm going to use a template string. And then we're just going to insert whatever the season name is inside of here, right? So img spring.jpg or summer.jpg, whatever it is. And then the same thing here, make that a template string and insert right here. Oops, $, season name. And then last but not least, we've got the background color, which is going to be the season color. Okay, that is pretty cool. So remember, when we define the function, these parameters are here to store the information that gets passed into the function when we call it. Right? We're defining the function here. We're going to store information in these parameters. And then when I call the function, that's when I pass in a value that gets stored in the parameter. This value gets stored in this parameter. So now the awesome thing is I don't need any of these functions. Bye-bye. And we talked about this briefly. Another benefit is efficiency, or the idea of reusability, right? We're going to reuse. I defined one function. I'm going to reuse this code multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And I'm able to do that because I can pass in the different values into the function. So the cool thing here, I'm going to save this and we're going to test it. And we go back to here and everything hopefully still works. Summer, autumn, winter, yes. So the amazing aha or wow moment isn't that, oh wow, the web page works, because it already worked before. The awesome part of this is that we just saved ourselves a ton of code, right? My program is now 44 lines long, whereas before I don't even know how long it was, right? We had to duplicate, or we did this code 4 times, right? Here, 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 and here. So by doing this, we're making our code way more efficient. By reusing this function, it's also more modular, right? This function's in charge of updating the season. This function's in charge of processing what the user wants from the input element. So anyway, nice example here. There'll be a couple of practice assignments and another assignment for you to do a similar thing to this. Take some start code that's working, but you're going to make it more efficient and more organized. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.